He's known as Barbecue. He's also a former police officer. His violent efforts to establish control vowing to fight until the Prime Minister resigns. The U.S. evacuating embassy staff and ramping up security as instability rocks the region. Royal edits. A photo that could put rumors about Princess Kate's whereabouts to bed, further fueling conspiracies about her post-surgery absence. News organizations taking the rare steps, telling outlets to remove the image after noting serious discrepancies. Adding to the confusion, Kate taking responsibility for the edit as the palace refuses to release the original image. We're breaking down the inconsistencies being called into question. Plus, family foul brawl breaking out at a women's college basketball championship spirals as several fans leap from the stands. The shocking courtside scuffle leaving a star player's brother.
I have no idea who she is. I was given a false accusation and had to post a $91 million bond on a false accusation.
This weekend, Congresswoman Nancy Mace was endorsed Trump getting into a heated exchange about the case when ABC News' George Stephanopoulos after he showed her video of her 2019 testimony about her own rape.
How do you square your endorsement of Donald Trump with the testimony we just saw?
I'm not going to sit here on your show and be asked a question meant to shame me about another potential victim. I'm not gonna do that.
It's actually not about shaming you. It's a question of
no, you are shaming me.
Donald Trump has been found liable for the jury. Donald Trump has been found liable for defaming the victim of that rape by a jury. It's been affirmed by a judge.
If you consider criminal court to standard number 2, I live with shame. And you asked me a question about my personal choices trying to shame me as a victim. And I find it disgusting.
The former president's recent succession of mistakes defining with women continued to struggle and put a clip that their Trump's reproductive rights, including IVF and abortion, putting Trump and Republicans on defense of the
Okay, with that, Vaughn Hader joins us now live on set here at Top Story. Vaughn, I want to put up on the screen the last two elections when it comes to female voters and candidates here. So, Hillary Clinton won in 2016 and then Biden won in Island, shutting down ports, police stations, and government buildings. Now the notorious gang boss leading the rebellion.
Tonight, the future of democracy in Haiti at its tipping point as the country, now overrun by gang leaders, teeters on the edge of political chaos. The out-of-control violence escalating over the last week. The same gangs who once fought each other, then banded together, attacking airports, police stations, the presidential palace, even prisons, releasing thousands of inmates into the streets. To figures like Robin Hood, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and Fidel Castro.
It's clear that there is a struggle of the minority of Haiti to present himself as such. And he's looked off as the means and before he lives there.
Haiti has been rattled by devastation, from the catastrophic earthquake of 2010 to the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse, and 11 years later. Political and social instability in Haiti has created a for barbecues and grills to spend on it.
The weather conditions of farmers may steam barbecue the slums to some extent nurture that form of nonviolence.
The origin of his nickname barbecue is up for debate. Shenzhen says it others claim it comes from his alleged involvement in more than 70 people dead, many burned beyond recognition. The international community ramping up efforts to prevent nationwide pandemonium as President Biden approved the military operation to airlift some of the embassy staff from Haiti over the weekend. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken meeting with world leaders at an emergency meeting in Jamaica today. The calls for action growing more urgent. The United Nations reports at least 15,000 people left displaced by the violence in just 1 week.
Marissa Parra joins us now live from Miami tonight. And Marissa, as you mentioned there was that high-level summit today with world leaders, including the U.S. Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, who just wrapped up his comments minutes ago. Do we have any idea of what was discussed?
Well, we know the State Department said earlier that leaders from Caribbean nations, as well as other countries, of course, including the United States, part of what they're trying to find consensus on today is a plan that would help to not only bring political transitions, but also to support free and fair elections within Haiti. But meeting with the United Nations for the humanitarian side of it, we want to really stressing the need to be able to bring in necessities, life necessities, like treatment for things like gunshot wounds and medicine to the people who remain stranded there.
Okay, Marissa Parra first. Marissa, we thank you for that. Still ahead, the hunt news tonight as they search for a suspect. Well, it's a powerful Oscar speech. A Ukrainian director winning Best Documentary for his chronicle of the war in Ukraine. The emotional moment he says he wishes he never made the film.
Apology with a confusing explanation. Signed Steve for Catherine, the princess wrote, like many amateur photographers, I do occasionally experiment with editing. I wanted to express my apologies for any confusion the family photograph we shared yesterday caused.
I think the best thing to be done now would be if Cajun William released the original photo.
The editing seems to be glaring. How do you think this could get so widely distributed?
And stop distributing it. They obviously felt that there was quite severe manipulation. Now, this rattled on for the best part of 24 hours before eventually the princess took to Twitter to issue a statement explaining that she had used some digital editing, that she does do that as an amateur photographer, and to apologise for any confusion. But because we haven't seen the original image, knowing just how digitally edited this image has been leads us back into that very dangerous fear of speculation.
And Katie, that leads me to my next question because, Patrick, you posted on X, formerly Twitter, the edits you saw in this photo, and I'm going to put it up on the screen for our viewers. You found way more edits than even that's out there in some of the publications right now and some of the news sites. This is just from zooming in, you notice sort of these discrepancies?
Yeah, I think if you look at a high-res file, you start to see these discrepancies. And there's a couple of spots right away that stood out to me as problematic. One is Princess Charlotte's left hand. It's right at her sleeve. It just starts to disappear. And it's pretty glaring. And once you point it out, it becomes more obvious that something's wrong with the picture. The other part that's even more troubling for me is on Princess Kate's zipper. As it goes down, it abruptly ends and then starts in another position, which clearly means something has been put on top of it.
Patrick, thanks for pointing those out. And the reason why we're spending so much time in this is obviously the royal family. There's so much curiosity. But, Katie, when you look at those edits now, I mean, you are going to a much different level. I mean, I don't even know if you can call that amateur anymore. I guess maybe amateur because the mistakes were discovered, but that's a lot of editing. And for what purpose?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? As I said, just how much editing has gone into the image, and because we haven't seen the original distinctive editing, I had guidance from Kensington Palace today saying that they were minor adjustments. So we're not talking superimposing Catherine into the image, which is what's been speculated online for days, allegedly not well enough to be in the picture.
Katie, that is the question that we have to sort of put to rest. I mean, we don't think this picture was just created by AI, right?
No, I don't believe it was created by AI. I think it was an amateur sort of enhancement. Obviously, Catherine's, you know, I don't know what she uses, what technology she uses, but look, she's a good photographer. We've become very used to her taking photographs of her children, so she's going to know how to do those touch-ups. She's going to know how to do those edits.
So this is kind of a hobby.
Possibly she's not operating at her best. She's recovered from an operation.
Right.
But I don't think we're all being duped into something sinister here.
Patrick, you're the photo expert here. If Kate is this sort of shutterbug, she has this photography hobby as well. Democracy is happening. Yeah. Welcome to a big night that could help shape Republican politics for years to come. Now, it never stops.
It comes down to turnout. Who shows up? Is it going to be that big block of independence?
Now is where it counts. What if you no matter what you do, this is a case.
There are number one issues in town in 2024. Who's your candidate?
The race is on. Now, the countdown has begun. News for the generation of now is NBC News Now.
Mornings are full of possibility and energy. And how you get set for the day ahead matters. Take charge of those first hours. It's about getting caught up. And really, it's about getting ahead. That's what drives us every morning. Because every day deserves that start.
The NBC News mobile app. Get coming here in California. The U.S. government just declassified this video. A lot more stories trending like crazy on social media. Controversy hitting lawmakers against young voters. What's this video today? Is it safe for voters? We've got another mind-bending story on artificial intelligence. This is what might be sounds like when they clone it. You gotta see this. Stay tuned now. Weeknights at now is real. In a car passing at a high rate of speed. The car then swerves onto the motorcyclist, sending him flying off the road. A driver fleeing the scene immediately. The rider was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. A college basketball game between Louisiana State University and the University of South Carolina erupting into chaos after a scuffle between two players during the championship game in Greenville, South Carolina.
Kids going through a rough school. This is children being sexually, physically, and emotionally abused on a daily basis. That has to actually either bottle it up and try and soldier on, or take doing something to lose the place, find myself, saying goodbye to Diana, who I grew up with.
Choking back tears into a place that they barely remember.
We were like prisoners. We were prey to very bad people's worst instincts.
He says that the worst of those bad people was the school's headmaster, Mr. Bush.
In my view, a pedophile and a sadist. And he staffed the school himself with either people who were going along with what he was doing, or were going to be mute about it.
What was going on, he says, was not just me, but other criminals. He sat down, Spencer.
Next, scary moments on a flight over New Zealand. Passengers and crew sent flying to the ceiling after a, quote, strong shake. At least 50 people hurt. The investigation now underway into what caused that scary moment.
Treason, the operator, he deserves the money of like
to insisting that our homes and productions were so perfect to live. They made the very tradition of living. And we also say in a vast swath of Russian-occupied territory can't change the past. But we all together, I'm on you. We will make sure that the history records cinema forms memories, and memories form history. So thank you all, and thank you all. Thanks to Ukraine, slava Ukraini.
We come back an inspiring story about pain and story back here at home. A black couple raising their house to Chinese immigrants more than 80 years ago, but no one else in Southern California knew it. Even that family shot at their own American dream. Tonight, how that family is out retaining a favor of a lifetime. Let's go.
This morning begins with hope and optimism. A chance to start fresh. We want to welcome you in to share a moment that brightens your day, because every day deserves your best day.
We report live from Tel Aviv, from Juarez, Mexico, reporting over the skies of every weekend. It's your news favorites. Top story is right now. Including the best selling NBC News.
Let's turn to the White House now in a new clash over high cost of food and how one big grocery chain is keeping prices down. What you should know after this. At a time when Americans are frustrated by the high cost of groceries, some supermarket chains are keeping prices down by offering their own private range shop.
That's extremely important. You know, like the day-to-day, you have your constraints.
Well, food prices have finally started to plateau. One study shows they're up 25% since the start of the pandemic, and some items remain stubbornly expensive.
It's that beef, it's that pork, it's that chicken, you know, and then also the dairy category.
Other price-sensitive chains are also expanding, from Costco adding 24 U.S. stores in 2024 to Walmart bulking up over the next 5 years.
Could it put downward pressure on some of the other major grocery retailers to lower their prices too?
The big stores have all been out this competition in life.
Physical and sexual abuse, he says he and others suffered at an elite boarding school.
Charles Spencer, brother of Princess Diana, godchild of Queen Elizabeth, and uncle of the future king,
You just have to walk down there.
says the English boarding school he attended from 8 to 13 was operated on a...
Emotionally abused on a daily basis.
He says his book, A Very Private School, relies not just on his own experiences, but also what happened to 24 other classmates at Madewell Hall. who we interviewed over the past 5
And we all had showers together after sports, and you could see it.